All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Yo,
Hopefully, no technical difficulties tonight. We will roll the dice as it goes. So, last week, um, not an eventful where you went, more of an eventful what you had to do. So you guys have been in a different plane trying to get the blood of a Titan. You met the Titan. He put you up against a challenge. You succeeded in the challenge, but in doing so, you lost one of your members. Um, After coming to and realizing what had happened, and some mourning that went through, you guys decided to leave the palace with the vial of blood that you came for. Um, Upon heading into the town outside, you saw two different characters. One was the previous dwarf that Chemo had talked to is probably a strong word for what he did, but interacted with, getting ready to take his men into the mountain to do some excavating and mining, and then a really pissed off looking moon elf who signaled to all of you to come talk to him, and then went into the bar. You all very quickly decided that that's not what you're doing today, and you didn't. You left. You went to one of the Fire Ganassi's that was living there and asked him if you could stay the place there. And Edagos said, "Yeah, that's perfectly fine." Um, y'all were trying to figure out what you wanted to do next. Uh, you're still dealing with your grief. Chemo decided he wanted a drink. Cassius said he would go with. That left Francesca and Vesrar to their devices in their own little rooms. Uh, on the way to the bar, Chemo and Cassius, got to bond a little bit, talk about, their religions and their beliefs or non-beliefs. But getting into the bar, the same moon elf, who seemed to be waiting quite patiently, beckoned once again and bought drinks and had a small talk with you. He introduced himself as Mintok, told you that his basic, job description is trying to prevent changes in time. And under normal circumstances, time is not a flux. It is a stagnant is what it is. And somehow all of you have gone around that rule and have already messed with time at least twice. Trying to get information out of you. You mentioned that Bill was the one that sent you back here, but not how. Uh, you finally talked to him and told him what it is you were after. And while pissed, he did agree to help you. Cassius went to go pick up Francesca and Vesrar, kind of literally in Francesca's
Yes,
state,
yeah.
and brought them back to finish the conversation. Mintok said that he would go ahead and go get the breath for you because he did not want you trying to go there in fear of you doing something you shouldn't. And told you where you could go to have someone build you the celestial bronze bowl. It was to the Dwarven Kingdom. And he also said that he was going to send someone with you that was basically going to be his snitch. Like, he called him out as a tattletale of whether or not you do or don't fuck up. And he pulled out a Harrigan by the name of Lakinda Likewise, or Likewise for short. Likewise, has joined your crew. He has a little book with him that kind of glows when you're about to change history. So that's his little job of checking it out. Mintok then created a door for you guys to head off to the Dwarven Kingdom. After having a little more discussions with him about what was going on and what you were doing and talking a little couple of things through, you all proceeded to go head out that door, and you ended on a boat. Motherfucker, I did the same.
Somebody had to.
On that boat, in the distance, you see an enormous, just red stone city. And that is where we start tonight. So, you are all on a boat. There are probably about 50 to 60 other passengers on this boat heading into the Dwarven city. Now, looking off into the distance, it looks extremely fortified. There are just walls, enormous walls rising up from the water with a giant gate in the middle for the boats to pass through. There are at least 6 or 7 what looks to be warships that are patrolling the water as hundreds of boats are coming in and out of the city. The city looks not only massive, but extremely populated and extremely traveled.
Okay.
So, what do you all do?
Is there any type of sensation that we all feel when we get transported? Is it jarring or anything like that?
I mean, like when you go through the door, it feels like kind of like, you phased in and out of your head a little bit. Like, you had that moment where you stand up too fast.
Yep, did that today.
But that's about it.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look around and just see if anybody noticed people walking out of a door on a boat.
Okay, roll me perception.
Hell yeah. Ten.
You don't see anybody that was really paying attention to you. I mean, for the most part, the travelers seem to be going about their day. And as you had walked through the door, you did not see the door on the other side. So quite possibly it wasn't that they just didn't even perceive a door. You just kind of appeared on the boat.
So did we see it, like, any trace of it, like, disappear behind us?
No.
Okay, we're just here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the moment you walked through the door, you appeared here on this boat.
Okay.
Where in the world are we? More importantly, when are we?
Oh, I get it. It's a time traveling thing, right? When are we?
It is important to know, yes.
I
Probably
think we
shouldn't say that too loud, Kimo.
What? They're not even paying attention.
You never know who's listening.
Clearly you were.
I was, and anyone else could be too.
I appreciate somebody listen when I talk. Anyway, so like how much I'm sorry, how much more time do you guys have before like you die or something?
Well, when this whole situation started, we were given 7 days, I believe.
7 days.
Yes. And I believe we have at least been through a couple now, I think.
Let me is it nighttime or daytime?
It's early afternoon.
Okay, well, I was gonna look at the stars, but instead we'll just ask God. God, how long it's been?
Well, it took you guys about a day and a half to get it to the fire plane. You honestly weren't there for too long, but time is different in different planes. So your 1 hour there could be 3 days, or your 1 hour there could be 3 minutes. Like it kind of varies.
Is there like
But
a
it-
general timekeeping system for like day, month, year?
There is. There's 2 moons. There's 10 months to the year. Each month has an exact 30-day time frame. So there is a standard of timekeeping, yes.
Okay. Can I just like find somebody that looks knowledgeable and just say, "Hey, what day is it?" Because I would know what
Yeah.
day they got there.
Yeah, roll me some perception.
Yes, sir. That'd be a 16.
Um 16. Most of what it looks to be the travelers on here are dwarves, obviously. You see a few elves that. Ooh, no, you don't see any elves. You see a couple of
What was
humans.
Yeah.
That backup.
We in the deep south.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot where we were in history.
I am getting nervous.
You see a couple of humans, maybe one dragonborn. One of the humans actually kind of stands out a little bit, where everyone else is wearing traveling clothes or, looks like merchants and things. This human is wearing white robes with gold, like, connection pieces. I tell you what, hold on. Tell you what, we'll do it this way. He looks like this.
Oh.
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 Cool.
Is there I'd like to look, is there any sort of like apparent like holy symbol or emblem or anything on his person that's
I
like
mean-
visible?
You weren't really looking for him, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, see, he looks holy. So would I identify anything holy on him? That was honestly what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, no, he has no holy symbols on him.
Okay. Hey, I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find out something. I'm gonna find out something.
Okay.
You got it.
Thank you. Thank you, new guy.
You're welcome.
Blake, may I, while Chemo is gone, may I take out my all-purpose tool, use an action to turn it into navigator's tools, and then use my where is it? Channel Divinity, Knowledge of the Ages to gain proficiency with said tool for 10 minutes. So that I can try to figure out more about where we are without having to ask anybody.
Yeah. You can do that.
Cool. Should I make like a survival check or something?
It would be a survival check, yes.
Okay. And then add my proficiency to it as well. Okay. So 12, but then plus 4 is 16.
Okay. So you can map the kind of like the mountain the star. Well, there's not really stars. Taking a look at what you see there, you have absolutely no idea.
Cool.
Because-
Glad I burned a thing for that.
What a build.
Because this is unfortunately, a couple of millennia from what you're used to seeing. So everything looks vastly different.
Well, that's true. Everything would be shifted.
Yes.
Probably a stupid question.
You do see constellations that would tell you are in the northern hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them that could tell you that you're probably somewhere towards the west, but it's there's so many more, like, everything looks so different.
It's very disorienting.
It is.
Are we still in the fire plane? Or are we in like
No.
another dimension? Or
No,
not
you
dimension? No.
are, yeah, you are back. It feels like you are back in your place, like in the standard plane of existence.
Is there a name for that plane?
Probably.
Home.
Good
Home.
answer.
You know, I honestly have never had to figure that one out. So,
Called normal.
all right. So, Chemo, you are leaving the group and heading over, I guess, to talk to the gentleman in the white robes. He is reading a book, like his portrait. He has pretty much dismissed everyone around him.
Oh, he's
There
just
are-
that... Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
He's just that, like, snobby, or like is...
I think it's no. He looks like he is engrossed in his book. Like, other people have bumped into him while walking around, and he looks like he hasn't even noticed.
Okay. Did you have more for it, or?
No, that was it. I mean,
Oh,
he is, like I
okay.
said, he's got a book open. As the boat moves and turns, he seems to just kind of be rocking with it.
Okay.
Every about few seconds, he turns a page. Like, he is reading through this with a almost magical speed.
Okay. So as I'm like shuffling, stepping over dwarves, and like, sorry, excuse me. Whoa, hey, you're a big one. Anyway, and it's kind of like, I'd imagine that would have somebody of Chemo's size would have to move through dwarves in mass.
Probably step over them, really.
That's what I'm saying. He's like,
Yeah,
there's a couple
yeah.
of them that are like outliers that are bigger, so he's like, ugh.
Not
Trying
to
not
show
to,
his gooch.
he's trying not to like slam him in the forehead with a tea bag.
Right in
My
the
bad.
You reached for that one. So when I get over to him, I'm gonna kind of like stumble and kind of dry heave off the side that he's near.
Okay, you definitely do.
And just kind of like see if he notices.
Let's see. Actually, we'll do it. We'll do it this way. Disadvantage. Even then, he got a 15. Yeah, he does somehow notice a 7-foot tall cowman.
Wow.
Am I 7 foot? I thought it was 7'8". I'm 7'8".
Excuse me, almost 8-foot tall cowman.
Damn. Still growing.
Yeah, I'm a growing boy.
Yeah.
So he looks at you
Oh,
and then just kind of goes back to his book. But every once in a while, there's just this like
okay.
he's like small steps away from you.
I'm gonna kind of like do the like crawl on the bar closer to him a little bit. Oh my god! Hey, buddy, I just got up from like the worst bender, and you know, if you couldn't tell, he kind of flashes his medallion with the crescent moon on it. He's like, yeah, it's kind of not really my time. You know where we're going or what? Like, what day is this? I am so lost. I woke up on this ship and have no idea.
Nice.
He's now looking at you almost curiously. He closes his book and puts it back in his satchel. How much have you had to drink?
It depends. Since I fell asleep, or before that.
It's 7th day. We are heading to Tir Farith.
7th day, terror, hurry.
You're free.
Tir Farath is what you can really call it, but he called it Tir Farith. That's the human tongue for it. The dwarven tongue focuses more on the end of words, where the humans focus more on the first.
Would I know anything about how to like pronounce that, or am I just gonna say it how he said it?
You would probably say how he says it, seeing as how you spent most of your time in the woods.
Hey, all right. Oh my god. Okay. And quick glance, was I able to see what book he was reading?
What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, Cow, and Giant.
What a combo.
Fair enough. You could not read the title, but a lot of the symbols look to be like they were partially celestial, partially something else. Like it looked to be some weird amalgamation book. From what little bit you did get out of it, like trying to translate it in your head, it was almost Delver of blank, finder of blank, eyes in the dark, blank blank.
And the blank blanks were things I just couldn't read, or
Yeah,
just
you
couldn't
weren't. Yeah,
understand?
you weren't just really weren't able to translate it.
Okay.
Like it looked like celestial, but it looked like a dialect you didn't know, or it looked like there was some mixture or something in there. It just you weren't able to really put it all together.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm just glad to kind of get my footing, even though the ship's kind of rocking around. It's very difficult for me, as I am very struggling.
Enormous.
Hey now, I don't talk about your height. You don't talk about mine.
He puts his hand into his pack and pulls out a small purple vial and just passes it over.
Oh, we doing shots? Ew. Oh.
Something of the sort.
Oh, what?
He said something of the sort.
He drinks it. I mean,
You've already had a full long rest, I guess, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from mental.
Yeah, you feel better. Like you have the alcohol that you drank at the bar, you don't feel that anymore. Honestly, you feel like you did when you were younger, running through the forests of the old, like the old forest. Like you feel good.
Oh, wow. Before all that shit went down.
Mm-hmm. Before all of
Yeesh.
it,
Oh, boy.
you feel young again.
Be young.
It's
Holy shit.
a
What
true
was
fantasy character.
Yeah. That's why I play D&D. That was a what? He's kinda
Reviv-
like,
Down to your knees without groaning, and you're like, yes.
that was a
Right.
revivify potion?
Revivify potion.
Oh, fuck. I don't think I have enough gold on me to cover that.
No worries. It's good to help people.
I mean, amen. You know, are you a man of the cloth? Are you
No, a scholar.
okay? What do you study? Saw the book you're
Magical artifacts. I'm a dungeon delver of old.
Hmm.
What? No way. I got a person that I think you would really enjoy talking to.
Really?
It's pretty trippy. They're gonna freak out when they get to talk to you.
Well then, Sally forth.
Who's Sally?
An ex-wife.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no, Sally behind.
Fuck
Oh.
Sally.
I'm gonna
Fuck that
kind of
bitch.
like kind of guide him. I'm like, hey, can you move this guy? Okay, come on, move. Like taking them by the top of their head and just kind of turning them away.
There are a lot of disgruntled like dwarves that look up at you, and then they second take look up at you and just go, you know what? I ain't gonna deal with that today.
When aren't they
I'm
pissed?
gonna pick my battle.
Hey,
By the way, he told you it was 7th day. They arrived on 4th day. So,
okay, so
just so everybody knows, Gary Gygax, who came up with all of this, did not have the creativity to handle time. It's 30 days to a month. There are 10 months, and the days of the week are 10. It is first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, up to 10th day, and then it repeats for the week.
Mm,
Huh.
good to
So
know.
there's only
Okay.
3 weeks in the month.
There's only 3 weeks to a month.
he really struggled to make that different from normal time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went out of his way to come up with everything, and then I guarantee you someone just said, so what's the days of the week? And he's like, oh, there's only 10 months, because that's different. And everyone's like, oh, what are the days called? First day.
You're right. Fuck it. Sounds good.
A
The day
land
after
of
that?
complete make believe, and the most creative thing our scholars could come up with was numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Okay, so as I'm guiding him through,
It's literally called a 10-day system.
Jesus Christ. Hey, everybody. This is he's nice. He's very nice. Okay, what's your name? I fucked up.
Zoxius.
Zoxius. This is Zoxius.
Zoxius.
Hello, Zoxius.
Oh, wow, Harrington. You're
Yeah.
rare.
Well, it's a very rare situation we're in.
That's the
Is
guy I
that
wanted you to
so?
meet. He got a big book. You got a big book. I figure you two would hit it off.
Here it is.
Interesting. I have several books. What's your
Ooh.
favorite?
Ooh.
What's my favorite book, you ask? Well, the Book of Sylvanas, really. It's my favorite book. I love reading about Sylvanas.
Ah, the nature goddess.
Yeah. He guides me, and I love learning about him. Great story. Great guy. What's yours?
Great.
Not so much a man of faith. More of a sciences haven't come a long way and we're just starting them, but that's where we're at.
Cool.
Francesca bites her lip a little.
What brings you all to Tir Farith?
Well, I'm likewise, and I look over at Cassius, and this is Cassius.
Cassius, yes.
Francesca.
Freddie
Yeah.
will be fine.
Either. You can call me either. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Her name's not
Reaches out
either.
hand.
A pleasure to meet you as well. And he shakes hands.
And then, yes, sir.
Nice to meet you, Vester.
It is Vesfrar. A pleasure to meet you, Zoxias.
You as
That's
well. Are
fine.
you? Do you
Do
have
the
Trow
There you
lineage?
go. Do the thing. Piss everyone off. Do it.
Yes, my father was a drow. Actually.
Interesting. And they let him breed outside of the Underdark. No disrespect. I mean none. It's you have to understand. Lolth and her people do not come out of there.
I did not interact very much with my father growing up. I was raised by my mother. She is a human. She is no longer with us, but she's the one who raised me.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it's good to see you on the outside world. And then a tiefling, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
Even rarer than the drow species, most of your kind do not leave the abyssal plane.
Well, I am well traveled.
Well, be careful here in Tir Farith. The dwarves are racially biased is a light term for them.
Oh,
I am used to
Especially
this sort
now
of
with the-
behavior.
Especially now with the war brewing.
Oh,
A war?
Between Kimbar of the Black Rocks and Dar of the Moon Elves. I fear there will be a very big war to come, which is partially why I am here. I have been told that underneath Tir Farith is a lost temple that has a very powerful artifact. And that is, I'm hoping to get to it before the war comes and maybe it is besieged.
why is there a war?
w- Could I-
Kimba is bloodthirsty is not the right term to use, especially in the company around us, but he and the Moon Elf people have never gotten along.
as a sage, could I potentially make a history roll
Sure.
of this war?
That was an accident.
12.
So histories does show that there was a war. The Moon Elves were almost wiped out. Kimbar was able to. You don't have a lot on it because a lot of that history was kind of destroyed as people tried to move on from it. But Kimbar was able to convince the other two king tribes to join forces to basically wipe out. It was mostly the Moon Elves, but they also went after the Drow and the Wood Elves. Eldrin and Fey Elves weren't really a thing here. This is actually what sent most of them into the Feywild. Eldrin came from the Moon Elves that left this plane to the Feywild and then grew to the magics there.
Oof.
The rest of the
Racial war.
ones that did survive here turned into the elves that there are today.
Oof.
I don't know none of that. Anyway,
Hadn't happened for you yet.
yeah, no. I'm gonna like kind of like nudge likewise. Hey, what Werthers? What's your name? Werthers?
Likewise,
Were there
Arthurs.
Your
My
name
real
is
name- well, my real name is Lakenda Werther, but I go by Likewise.
okay. Laket. Kima struggles. Laket.
Lakenda. It's a pretty easy name to say.
It's a pretty name, all right.
Chemo is struggling because he's like, I can't make a nickname for this.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
already has one. What do I do?
Oh, I got this. Anyway, likewise. So, was
more like
your
like
little what?
nothing?
No, okay. So what does your little future book say? And he kind of like trying to whisper it to him. Like, should we fuck around with this shit?
Is the book doing anything right now?
The book is not glowing.
Well, since we're whispering, there's just a bunch of empty pages. It really is more of a guiding tool than it is to write in it. I don't want to mess it up or anything, but I will write stuff in it. Do you have something to write?
Do I?
Yeah, Saloon was here.
Can I write the back of your yearbook? What happens if we write in it? Is it gonna get fucked up?
I haven't wrote anything in it yet.
Did you ever find out what happens if you do?
Well, I called it the No Good Book to keep track of the no good things that Mentalk's trying to prevent. The book, you could write anything if you want to write a funny joke. You got a lot of jokes. We probably shouldn't write in it, but if you want,
Kemo's struggling. He's getting very mixed emotions right now. I don't know.
I don't think Malik was literate, but if he was, he would have written something
that's
fucking fast.
Dude, that's what I'm struggling with. I'm like, Malik's trying to force his way to the front. Like,
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, all
my
I'm
God.
picturing now is this little rabbit. I haven't written anything in yet. You can write something if you want, and then just pauses. I don't think you should write anything in.
Immediately regret.
You know
So
what?
adorable.
What's the last page that was written say? How about that? We'll start there.
alrighty. Does it say anything?
Yes, the very last page that is written is just a note in Mintock's really scribbled handwriting. Don't fuck with my book.
It says, "Don't fuck with your book, Mintalk." Oh, that's Mintalk.
So like don't tear the pages out, right? Like you can write in it.
I wouldn't. Maybe we should be very careful with this book, Mo. Very careful.
I must sign my
I don't-
fucking name in that book.
I'm getting that on.
Yeah.
When we're
I
all
feel
finished, we'll all sign our names in it.
I don't really understand what it does. Still,
What if we write someone
So-
else's name in it?
Gather around.
Not the Death Note. Or is it?
So the book is going to let us know if there's anything that we should not do. And trust me, I will let you know if there's anything that we really shouldn't do. And I look at Chemo.
Oh, we're talking about writing in the book and it's not glowing. So can't
That's
be
true.
that bad.
If it's not glowing, we're good. He just does a big old thumbs up with his bunny hand.
little booty paw.
Is there
Say again.
a dwarf? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought Breon said something.
She did. I
Go ahead, Brandon.
I don't even remember what I said. It's fine.
is there a dwarf like nearby, just not paying attention, but within arm's reach?
Yeah, I mean, there's several.
Hey, you want to take a chance at winning like 100 gold pieces? Just kind of tap him on the shoulder. You want to win 100 gold
looks-
pieces?
He looks first at like his shoulder where you tapped, and then up at you. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead and take this quill. All right, I'll even get you a little ink on it. And I want you to write your name. And I want you to write found 100 gold pieces in his pocket.
Oh my God.
You could be killing this man.
Eh.
And this will get me 100 gold.
Am I? I mean, what do you got to lose?
He writes in it.
Here you go, dwarf.
There goes your good graces.
You go, dwarf.
That's like so great. Yeah, you little piece of shit.
Yeah, he writes in it. And nothing happens.
He wrote that he found 100 gold pieces and nothing happened.
Yep.
Well, no gold.
Oh, better find us again tomorrow for a daily attempt at winning 100 gold pieces.
I'll log it for your daily.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful guest. Thank you.
He just looks so confused and just wanders off.
Can I have my pen back?
No, he just wandered off.
You little shit, I see you.
Was that our only pin?
No, I can find some more.
Okay.
I mean, wait, you closed the book. What happens if you open the book again? Is it still there? I don't know how this shit works.
Let's see. Does it still show it?
Oh no, Blake!
Blake!
No,
Is he frozen?
he froze it.
He did.
Let's see. Does the writing still there?
Yeah, right. He's still there.
Oh, it's there.
Well,
Forever.
maybe he'll find it tomorrow.
As you keep looking at it, likewise, you see new letters forming at the bottom underneath what you wrote,
Oh,
and it says, it just says 7 days.
7 days. 7 days.
Don't like that.
The fuck's that
Nope.
mean?
Don't like that.
7 days for who?
I don't know, but I don't like 7 days for anything. I like a lot more days than that.
That is the time period we were given initially to get this entire thing figured out.
You got given
Can I do-
7 days? Sorry.
Yes.
He's,
Can I
You
do
go
an
before
Arcana
you.
check? Like,
Thank you.
Yeah,
That
you can.
was-
sorry.
I'm trying to pass it.
That was almost an 18. Motherfucker.
Almost.
But it moved to a 2.
Ooh.
I hate when that happens.
Still got a 15, though.
Um,
It's the lowest Arcana check that I can get is a 15, besides an out one.
Damn.
luckily, crit fails only count in attacks. So yeah, even if you roll a 1, you still have a 14. A 14's good.
Oh, well.
Yeah, a 1 on a skill check does not matter.
Disagree,
Uh,
but that's fair.
I mean, it doesn't matter when you have a plus 13.
Hell.
What's your
Yeah.
phrase?
Yeah, which
when
is
you
why
have
I
a-
really wanted an 18, because I
When
wanted
you
to be
have
like,
a negative 1 and you roll a 1, obviously there's issues.
I really wanted to be like, yeah, so that's a 31 on my Arcana. Tell me everything.
So what were you doing your Arcana check for specifically?
On the book, whether I recognized the kind of magic, the source of magic, if it has any kind of nefarious undertones / purpose, if there's anything that I've come across in my scientific research that's anything like it, whether it has any kind of illusory purposes or scripts.
Okay, so in the order that I have that in that you would have looked at, the magic is extremely similar to the magic that Mintok used to open a door. It
Okay.
does not feel evil. It does not
Oh, it's
feel
like Fae.
directed at you.
Mhm.
It feels like chronomancy, but it also feels like psychomancy. It's a weird duality spell.
I probably wouldn't even know what those things are, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you've never had to deal with that. Chronomancy you might have really heard of, but psychomancy, like, there aren't scions anymore. Like, 5th edition doesn't have them, so there's not really scions anymore. There's people that can do some psychic stuff, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel directed at you or your party. It doesn't feel malicious. It just feels like it's just kind of a thing.
And it doesn't feel like illusory
You cannot,
illusory
yeah,
or like trickery.
you can't tell where the magic came from, which
Mhm.
means to you that it's just really not in this. Whatever did it is not anywhere near you. It came from somewhere further than 300 feet.
Oh, look, the Feywild, 600 feet away.
And it's got no pictures.
The worst kind of book.
Wait, this
The
guy,
worst kind.
he said it was the 4th day. All right, y'all got here on the 4th day. Today is the 7th day. It's like, y'all been here
Yes.
3 days. You got 4 days left to get your shit done. I don't mean to interrupt anything going on with you, Mr. Xylophone. And, I forgot his name already.
It's in
Zoxius.
the game log.
I mean, he's been
Zoxius.
just carefully observing everything that's going on here.
She-
Game. What the fuck?
So
still don't feel anyone's answered my question. Why come to Tirfarith?
Honestly, I don't know.
Again, I was gonna say no offense to anyone on here, but none of you really feel like people that would come to a dwarven capital. I mean, he looks at Francesca. I mean, a lady of yourself might be here for the ambiance or possibly the temple. You seem to be a priestess of some sort.
Oh.
But a Drowlin and a tiefling certainly not. Your kind never left the forest, from what I've read, and Harringtons are next to non-existent. Forgive me, inquisitiveness is my biggest flaw. Why here? Why now? And
Yeah,
what's with 4 days?
Yeah.
It is the amount of days left in my world tour.
Well, tour.
These are my traveling companions. I am here to play, and I was told I could come here to gild my instruments.
No.
That
I am
you
not
s-
a lackey.
That you certainly can do.
I mean a groupie.
I am quite famous far away. Never been to this part of the world.
I fear that would be counterproductive to you being famous far away.
And I'm trying to play new locations, branch out a bit.
Well, if you've come to gild your instruments, there are no better crafters than the dwarven people.
This is what I hear. I am quite partial to bronze.
To bronze,
Yes.
not silver to golden.
No. Bronze is my preferred metal.
Wouldn't a bronze instrument actually make it have more of a dull tone?
No, you see the instrument itself, and I'll take out my sham. Is just made of the material it is made of. I'm talking about gilding the outside of it. It is simply a covering. It makes a more ornate appearance,
It's cheaper, is what he's trying to say. It's cheaper.
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
Understood. Still giving it that shine. Then yes, you certainly can do that here.
Boy, that was painful.
Completely ignoring that lie, Francesca turns to him and she goes, well, first of all, I understand having inquisitiveness as your biggest flaw. I feel quite the same way. But as you can imagine, all of us here are rather unusual types, and so you can imagine that we're on the lookout for rather unusual things. And where better to find the most unusual things than with the best crafters in the world? And even so, some of us may feel like, well, like maybe bronze goes better with our skin tone than gold would. And she just gives this kind of thin, airy, awkward laugh and flips the hair over her shoulder in a very, very not good.
Does it smack anyone in the face?
No, she's too tall for them. Hold on. Let me roll something.
Abusing these dwarves standing around us.
Yeah.
Can I roll persuasion with disadvantage?
You can definitely roll it.
Yes. I just want to know. Would that be persuasion or performance?
Persuasion, I would say. You don't have to take disadvantage.
No, I'm doing it.
Fair enough.
Because I meant it. I meant it to be 9. Just it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Respect the flavor.
She does. I mean, she has a plus to everything. So
he smiles almost sheepishly in his own way. I highly doubt there's anything that could not complement your skin tone.
Oh,
But
what?
if it's bronze you're looking for, I think I actually know a blacksmith that could help with that.
As far as gilding my sham,
Indeed. I'm
wonderful.
actually on my way to meet him now.
Would that, not to be rude to interject here, but would that be having to deal with the item you're looking for?
Pretty rude, Cass. Come on.
He's also another, I guess, same soul, as it were, for lost artifacts. He's the one I've come here to meet to hopefully see if he knows information about if there's any place to start looking here in the city for whatever lost, for however I can find underneath the city.
I do dabble
dwar-
with history itself, so that's trying to travel around the world, you know. What better to do it than in a band?
You see?
At this point, the boat has now come through the gate. And you all look on upon the city itself. So the city looks layered, almost, with the sea and the harbor at the bottom layer. Above that is just this long layer of what looks to be just buildings of shops, and there's like just several. There's a lot of smoke and fire and places that are set up there because obviously blacksmiths is a big thing here. You see just stands and carts and everything just all in that layer. And then further up in the further distance, you see what looks to be like homes and smaller housing. But at the very, very back above all of this, you see an enormous castle. It is with two towers, one that is pure gold, and then one made of an obsidian colored rock. And both of these towers are just side by side with the main castle walls, which are of this ivory sheen that looks like they're not even they're not bricked together, but it was entirely cut from one massive rock. And there are 3 banners hanging from it that even at this distance you can see. There's the first banner on the far left is a golden dragon with behind it a huge tree with orange leaves. On the far right, you see a black mountain with 2 dragons guarding the left and right side. There's a black dragon and a red dragon. And in the center banner, which is above the portcullis and the gate that comes into the castle itself, looks to be 3 lightning bolts that are coming out of this platinum colored dragon. And the lightning bolts are just bedding themselves into the ground and springing forth from where the lightning has hit are just dwarves. Like so these banners are enormous. That's the only reason you can see this, because this castle is so much bigger than you would expect anything to be. And you can see that the dwarves on the far right, there's the black skinned dwarves. The far left are dwarves riding look like they're riding dragons, and then in the center are dwarves that are taller than the other 2. And as you pass through the gate, Zoxy is looking up at the castle. Oh, to one day be able to tour such a beautiful place. They say that there's a treasure trove of magic items just locked in random rooms.
What you gotta do to get a tour?
I assume get in good with one of the kings.
I could do that.
Royalty isn't all that it's cracked up to be.
You shut your mouth.
Maybe
Wait.
you got a tour guide.
Oh. She can get us in. You think you could get us in there? You get big
Why
brownie
not?
points for your boyfriend. So I guess.
What, you mean me?
Yeah. No, I'm talking to the rabbit. You gonna sweet talk him.
I don't know.
bet
The last time I tried to sweet talk royalty, it didn't go so well, did it?
I was your dad. That'd be weird if we stood there and watched while you get the sweet talking.
I just look
Look-
at sweet talk your dad for him.
Hold
Is
a moment. Your royalty.
Yes.
I knew there was an air about you. And then, what's with the rabbit sweet talking?
he
We're
likes
not really
butt.
sure.
He likes butts. Let's
He's
know
the
that.
newest member of our.
Band?
Yes.
We don't really know a whole lot about him, if truth be told.
I play the string instruments, and I wink over at Chemo like,
It's not even just a wink, it's a.
Yeah, really lean into it.
Why me? Why me in particular? I don't
Why'd you wink to
understand.
me? I don't like you.
I don't know what you're putting down. I'm not picking it up.
By the way, Blake, I'm
Mhm.
like still fucked up from my drugs, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
Should have given you that revivify.
Like the
So everything
Mintox time thing that he did helped
Mhm.
some, but I mean, he can't remove it. He can't just detoxify it from your system. He's not a cleric.
So I imagine that like everything that I've said and described has been from my perspective. And everything that you've seen has been like that, except that my pupils are still blown and that like my speech is like slightly slower and longer than probably what it was before. Like I still just look like a little weird.
On the come down.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm coming back.
On a
If I-
boat where I don't know where I am, that's probably not ideal.
Surrounded by dwarves.
And so, Zoxias, this blacksmith that you know, is he employed by this royalty here?
Employed's a strong term with dwarves. They each work their own. They pick their own. A dwarf will never make 1,000 things for one person. They will make one thing for one person.
I
Like
see.
for humans, build it. Say I built this chair. I can make 100 of that same chair. It's just a chair. Everyone, that's what it is. It has no name. It has no purpose. But a dwarf will make a different chair every time. They put their soul and heart into it. No one thing a dwarf makes is the same. So most people, when they go, they'll pick a dwarven craftsman that they like because what they make is for them.
Unique.
It is unique every single time.
So what is this dwarf that you know and respect so much? What does he go by?
Oh, it's Brennan.
Brennan.
Brennan Lerokin.
Interesting name.
He's one of the few mountain dwarves that actually are living in the city. Most of them tend to stay up in the hills with the rest of their tribes.
Do you know what has brought him to city life?
The craft, I suppose.
Good
And
for
as
the
I
foot
said-
traffic, I suppose.
True, and as I said, he is one for magical artifacts and treasures, and what better place to learn about them than inside a city? Especially full of people that can't shut up about magic items.
Reminds me so much of home.
Indeed. The boat's slowly pulling into the dock, and people are getting ready to disembark. Well, you're all welcome to come with me if you like. I know you've got things to do. Or he looks over at Vezrar. Or Vezra, you of course have the pick of the lot for craftsmen here. You may find one that's more suitable for your needs.
Yes, if you have if you have knowledge of anybody who specializes in instruments, I would not be opposed to meeting this person.
Personally, I don't, but I'm sure there are many here.
Wonderful. Well, if everyone is in agreement, I do not see the harm in meeting this blacksmith that appreciates these artifacts so much.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I agree.
Okay, good. He kind of looks over Francesca, then looks away quickly. Glad to see we're spending all more time together. If you'll come with me when it disembarks, I'll take you to Brennan. So the disembarking for this is a little different than what all of you are used to. Usually, pulls up to a dock. They let down the gangplank and everybody moves out. But for Tir Farith, the boat itself actually goes into what seems to be like a slot made for it. And as it encloses, it lifts the boat up onto the dock, and the ways out of the doors that open for the boat are actually underneath. So you have to go into the boat itself and then out the sides instead of just jumping off of the top.
Hmm.
Interesting.
It's weird.
Are you a Game of Thrones person, Blake?
I saw season 1.
Do you remember how King's Landing looks? Because I'm getting like huge King's Landing vibes from this.
It's actually it's a little similar to that. I don't know if that's where he pulled it from or if he's doing his own thing, but the whole structure of layers is very, very similar.
And the place that I came from is a lot like, because right, like because it's a big city with all sorts of different races and stuff in it.
Well, the one you came from too also was north, but it was far to the east in the warmer climates.
Mm-hmm.
From where like how the sun like kind of focuses on that and on this plane. It's very flat, but it also is vast. Like the city that you were born in and raised in, that all that is the second biggest city next to minus Kellendes and Alexandria. Yours is the second biggest city from the New Dwarven. Well, we'll get into that when y'all show up there. But
Okay.
yes, it is huge. So this is something you are used to, just this amount of populace.
We'll be glad to be taking a walk around here. I found myself feeling a bit nauseous all of a sudden.
I personally am not a fan of sea travel. But come, friends. By the way, I'm so sorry. I want to make sure I got the names right. Likewise, Chemo, Cassius, Franny, Francesca, and he said Vesra, but you said Vezra, which is correct.
It is Vesfrar.
Excellent. Dwarves are very much about introductions, and I do not want to get this wrong.
Much appreciated.
That's kind of you.
Come. Follow me, please.
Okay.
So he starts leading you through this. Go ahead.
As we're walking, I'm just kind of like keeping my eye on the scenery. I'm just sort of looking like to see if I see a music shop anywhere on our way, just like to keep in mind for later.
Okay.
I was going to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was gonna fall back and talk to Cast for a second.
Okay, you do.
You can keep going with Fistrar if you want.
Okay.
I was just letting you know what I was doing while that was going on.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Zoxius is just as he walks you through the city, he just starts explaining because it's really in his nature of how the city was originally created by the platinum dwarves who made the city when the three dwarven tribes, which were the Black Rock, the Mountain, and the Platinum, were kind of at a war with each other until the king of the Platinum dwarves banded them all together and made the city where they all three had their own. Basically, it's a council of three for their decisions. He was just explaining, and then that's how the city came to be. It's controlled by those three together. They're full partisan votes. They must have a full consensus that if one person votes no, it doesn't happen. He kind of goes into a little bit of the Moon Elves and the Black Rock don't really get along because the Black Rock believe that anything under the earth is theirs, where humans are still young, so they're all just kind of go with the flowy, but because they breed so quickly, you do what you can about that. Whereas the elves are very much everything is sacred. What is ours is ours. You cannot just take it because you want it, kind of deal. He does let slip that Dar, the king of the Moon Elves, is very much against war, but he is worried. But he has been trying to make alliances in case this war comes to fruition, because the dwarves outnumber the elves like 19 to 1, 20 to 1.
Damn.
Well, in this timeline, it really is just moon elves. Like, elves are moon elves. There are no other elves minus the drow, because Lolth kind of went and did her thing. This is before the big split, all the other ones, but there are not very many of them because they're immortal. Moon elves do not age. They do not die. Like, they do not die unless you just straight up shank them. So, they might have a kid every couple hundred years if they want. They don't have to. Which is very different from other races, which is so they don't have an army. The big thing that you guys notice as you walk through the sights and smells, walking through the first tier, as you come off the docks, Zoxius takes you left towards the mountainside versus the side that goes off towards where the ocean kind of goes around. Mike's leaving me. He's got his headphones on. He's good to go.
Hear you. Yeah.
I know you can. There's the sights and smells of there's hundreds of shops. Most of them are blacksmith. You see jewelers, leather workers. You see people making furniture, tailors. You see stalls, bless you. Stalls everywhere full of foods, mostly meats, some breads and grains. Like, there are criers at each of them, just trying to get people to call out to do things. Likewise, you're from Calendez, so big cities kind of thing for you, but it's definitely not anything like this in the market. Francesca, you're used to big city stuff, but for everyone else, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, this is just, there's thousands of people in this small area, and you're only in, one small portion of this level, and there's 2 other levels.
Is everybody shoulder to shoulder? Is it that populated?
Almost. Like, it feels like there's a flow to traffic. It is about 90% dwarf, 8% human, and then 2% others.
Yeah, so we stick out like a sore thumb.
You all do. There's definitely people that are looking around. A lot of them are definitely checking out Vesrar and Cassius, because half of them are just assuming that they're here to, murder everyone. And the
Sure.
other half think that they're here because they're a part of some circus sideshow.
I'll go with that.
As I'm getting all these eyes on me as we walk through, I'd like to burn a point of inspiration to store a tale in my mind.
Sure.
Just because you don't know what's going to happen. 6.
With her arms kind of tightly crossed to herself while she's walking along, Francesca pulls back to walk at Cass's side and kind of just like looking at each shop while they go by, not really looking at him. She starts talking quietly and she says, we still never got that day at the library and the coffee.
Yeah, I mean, things have become quite convoluted now that we're here where we are. And, I mean, one day, maybe. But
Feels like 1,000 years ago now.
Well, I'm in the inverse now.
Well, I guess you're right. I guess it's 1,000 years in the making.
1,000 years, yeah, in the future. I don't know how to properly phrase that.
I don't either, but are you doing all right?
I'm okay. Didn't expect people to die to fix. Well, I mean, the plague is killing people, but on my own personal mission to right this wrong, didn't expect to watch these wonderful people die. Malik with the heart of gold after watching his city get burned down, giving a stuffed bear to a child, tossing an Aasimar overboard, standing toe to toe somewhat, tried to save him with a lich, and then watching the kindest man that was, albeit terrible at the flute, incinerate to ash in front of my eyes as I literally froze in place. I didn't expect the costs to be this high.
I can't say that I did either.
So,
I mean, you know better than anyone. When we met on that boat, I was just looking to further my research. I was looking to do what I always do, which is just observe from afar. I didn't plan to get into this, into knowing people and caring for people and being crushed by people.
well, we have to make sure this story's worth it in the end. As we've made it this far, and I refuse to give up. I have a promise to keep to my sister, and she will commune with her goddess one day again. So
You're a pretty great brother, you know. Much better than
No.
mine.
Well, my brother's a piece of shit, so not to be the judge of that. No, Finley's a good girl. She's the sweetest thing in this world. I haven't always been the best brother, but she's always protected me, and I feel like it's my part to do that for her.
It sounds a lot like me and my sister.
Family makes things complicated.
Yeah.
Your sister all right? Is she having issues with the gods as well?
You could say that. She's been gone for 20 years now.
What, did she disappear when the plague started, or is she dead?
Yes, she's dead.
Oh shit. My bad.
That's all right. She actually died, I think, at probably the worst moment that someone could die, which was on the actual day that the gods disappeared.
So she needs to be heard in order for her soul to rest. I guess at least that's some of the things I've gotten from my sister. Is I might be off. I don't know. I am the least holy man of my family.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of spacing away from all of that since.
You definitely did spacing earlier. Chill drugs and whatnot.
I mean, you said you wanted to know how it works, so you can't pretend that you don't want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious
more about
why.
it.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought fixating a mask to your face and then injecting drugs that way? I'm just used to seeing people smoke it, so that's new.
Inhaled, not injected. As they walk by a stand, the dwarven glass blower, she points at the elongated glass that's being pulled and blown, and she kind of points at it as they walk by, just as like that's kind of like the vial that she fixates into the mask. And she said, I wouldn't mind.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Kimo's gonna bust in. Where are you pointing at the glass for? It's very convenient timing, if so. It's just, what's going on with the glass? What's with the? What are you pointing at?
She's talking about getting high.
I thought you knew. Aren't you a cleric? Don't you? You know what? Forgive me for questioning how someone else worships. Fucking heathen.
Are you okay, Franny?
Not that I'm necessarily used to being. No, she's not okay, by the way.
Meta.
She's not okay. Not that I'm really used to talking about it with anyone. She just like pointed, annoyed look at Cass, like, thanks for spilling that secret. But I wouldn't say that that's related necessarily to me worshiping.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We all have our vices, you know.
We all get to see God one way or another.
Well,
hell, you were just doing shots with yours.
Hey, damn right I was. I wasn't smoking her though.
I do love me some carrots.
Do what?
Zoxius, who has been talking to Likewise apparently this entire time about history, looks at him and goes, I mean, there's a stall over there if you're hungry.
I sure
am.
am.
We're talking about drugs, and he just goes, I like carrots a lot.
I like chocolate milk.
Kimo just has this building rage. Just fucking hate you so much.
Oh my god, Chemo is just Elmo from that fucking episode with The Rock, where it's just Rocky. Rocky can't even eat. He has no mouth. He just this to the fucking stare.
In the fire plane, you were just Elmo with the flames behind you.
Yeah. I didn't mean to disrupt y'all's conversation about getting high and doing things while you're high and whatever else you're doing while you're high. Sorry.
She like looked, back and up at him because he's such a big dude. But just kind of like reaches with her other hand, like opposite the side that he reaches for Visrar and kind of tugs it a little bit closer, and very loosely wraps a hand around each of their forearms. And she says quietly, just as like a little finisher to the conversation, well, if anything, all of this has taught us that we need to be well. I value you both very, very much. And whether you're okay or not, I want you to just let me know if either of you need anything, okay? She gives a little squeak.
Of course.
This is noted. Appreciate you as well. This is the original now, 3, so...
So this is the original band, and the other ones just kind of showed up?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
I see. What instrument did you say you played again?
I play 3 different instruments, actually. I only have 2 on me. I play the viol and I play the shawm.
Pulls out a huge suitcase. Well, actually, you see.
Now that you mention it.
What does everyone else? What does everyone else play? Are you all getting your instruments bronzed?
No, that wasn't we don't. Just him.
They're just backup.
She's
Excuse me.
She's the manager. I'm the protection.
Yes.
It was a one-man show at one point.
I assume that one's the protection.
Yeah,
just pointing up at Chemo.
Yeah. Just looking a very furrowed brow at you, like, yeah.
He's actually our marketing manager. He's quite good at what he does.
He gets the followers going,
Yeah.
Got to get the holy
Real
people into it.
A real social media presence.
It's really hard to market religious music when they don't use words.
And likewise is a perfect mascot.
I pull out my bow and I just go dink with like the string on the bow.
Like a little harp.
You're really selling it.
Doing great, buddy.
I'm selling, they're buying.
Oh my god.
he thinks for a moment and just goes, I'm not getting involved. Shops are over here.
Oh, perfect.
I just start mumbling,
so-
carrot juice, carrot cake.
While most of the shops seem to have like several people like kind of like going through it and like crowding around it and like trying to, get the attention of of the shopkeep itself. This one kind of, there's not anyone else really in there. Most of the shops also have, like these grand designs and like this armor or weapons or furniture, things that they show off out in front of their shop. This one has nothing. Inside the window, there is one small brass studded shield, and on the other side there looks to be leather armor. It's not even studded. It looks very plain. This is it.
Quaint.
It's
I
not
show
very
you.
much.
Brennan is very good at what he does.
How's the ceiling?
And
How's the ceiling? Is it dwarf, right?
yeah, it's open.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought we were going to a
thank
little.
God.
Yeah.
No, it is a shop. Like you can see, there are windows that has it. But like as Zoxius opens the door, you can see that it's like an open planning where it goes really high up, and then the upper ceiling itself is completely open, as smoke is billowing from the forge in the very back up into the air.
Oh.
Inside the shop, you see what looks to be mostly armor.
Mhm.
A lot of it seems to be like chainmail, leather, a couple of plate pieces, some shields, a few weapons, but it really does not look much different than your standard run of the mill like armor or weapon shop that all of you have been to in one time or another.
It's Yield Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Standing at the back of the forge, you see a dwarf, gray skin, about 5'4". Like this is a big dwarf, extremely stocky. Most of his arms have scars or burn marks, but even with his white beard and hair, he looks like he's brimming with muscle, and he is just hammering away at something on an anvil.
Gray skin.
Yeah, the hill
I thought
dwarves
only.
have gray skin.
Oh, I thought that was
Black
only
iron.
like a orcish thing.
No, the black iron have ebony, like black skin. The hill dwarfs have grayish skin. It's the platinum dwarves that are your standard dwarf that you know. The ones that have like, they look, it's peach and brown and those kind of things.
Okay.
They're the most prominent dwarf in your time.
I'm gonna like tap Viscerar. What is the what's the thing? What are we here for exactly? Like you guys said it like once. What are you looking for? To go back to, your special place.
I will speak to you telepathically, and so you hear in your head, "We are here for the Celestial Bronze Bowl."
Yo, it's fucking freaky. Don't ever fucking do that again. We'll put you in that fucking kiln. Not
Just kind of, just give him sort of a knowing look, and sort of subtly, do like this.
It's kind of shakes it off. Okay, so I guess
Little ear slap.
yeah, it's kind of like the twitch. So
And then
Eddie.
I'll just tell you, like just regular. Well, I'm here to see if this person can gild my sham in bronze, of course.
Are we not supposed to say it out loud?
And I'll say to you again telepathically, do not speak of the Celestial Bronze Bowl in strange company.
Alright.
Moo.
So I'll go over to Zoxius and sort of do like this.
As you start to approach, he puts his hand up to stop you. Definitely let him finish before you interrupt.
I'll just take a step back and you like
In
that?
reverse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna silently look for bowls.
I'll
roll me perception.
oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna do, Tom?
I was just going to have a quick conversation with Zoxius, but you can do that first.
That's 16. We know how it's gonna go.
There are bowls.
Like hold one up that looks like bronze. It's kind of like, hey, this one.
And in your head, you'll hear, "It has to be made of celestial bronze."
It gets ready to
What
throw
that
the
did-
bowl.
How that is different from normal bronze, I do not know.
Whoa,
All right. Likewise, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say. So this is a legendary Brennan, huh?
That is him.
Has he been making stuff for you before?
He's made me a few things actually before, yes, but mostly I go to him for information.
I see.
You-
Another valuable item.
More valuable
do.
than gold.
You go to a craftsman for information.
Well, if you pay a craftsman for something, they generally give it to you. If you try to get it out of other people that want to keep it a secret, they know gold will open their lips.
So, finding secrets of things lost to the world.
Something like that, yes.
Insight.
Roll it.
I'm not good at this.
Francesca kind of pushes to the front.
No,
like-
I believe everything he says. 7.
Oh,
Well, hold your horses. Let's find out.
yeah.
He has advantage, so yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I believe it.
When Cass says that, I'm just gonna make a quick note here. Where'd you get that made? And I point at your gun.
My gun's not there.
Oh, is it not? Oh, I can't see it. Oh, I thought I could
I've
see
got
it.
it.
My apologies.
I've got it. It's not visible at all. It's in another
Okay.
meta
That would probably be a
dimension
very bad idea.
Okay, gotcha.
that is well hidden. I'll show you in due time.
Maybe.
As Brennan, he finally just his one last stroke, and it's almost a grunt as he hits this anvil, and sparks that have been flying every hit, all of a sudden these sparks turn a purple color, and you all feel this wave of wind just kind of rush over all of you. Everyone roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh,
Let's see.
14.
nat 20.
That's where you needed it.
Uno momento. It's loading.
So far, everybody's above a 10.
Is it?
We'll see.
Is that all we needed?
We'll
You need
see.
above an 8. So being above a 10 is pretty good. Likewise, what you got, bud? With a +4.
It's taking its time
It
making up its
is.
mind.
Good lord.
Is it just
Oh my
bouncing around,
gosh.
or do you want me to roll it for you?
No, it's
There it is.
frozen
Oh
there.
wow.
18. So all of you are good. Shit, I guess while we're here.
Roll it for your dude.
Yeah, he's got a.
Hey,
11.
good job.
Thank God he gets advantage on those saves, because that 2 would not have been fun.
Damn.
I just want to roll an intelligence saving throw one time in my life.
No,
She has a +9. Come on, man.
that's my wisdom.
Oh really? Awesome.
Nice.
I should have that, but I'm a shitty cleric, so.
We get to say
So-
nothing.
all of you were good as this almost as that wave went over you, you all felt this sudden urge of panic, and then it just immediately subsides and you're fine. Brennan looks at it, and you see that he's made this wand. It's a beautiful gold inlay, blue runes just kind of like written all over it, and a bright pink gemstone at the top. And he looks at it, turns it about, and just goes dud, and just tosses it. Just wipes his hands. Zoxy, my boy, what brings you here, and who are these people-ish? So Zoxius walks forward 2 steps and bows. Good Brennan, these are associates of mine. This is Vezra.
Take a bow.
He is here with his musical troupe, I think.
That is correct.
The lovely Francesca, Cassius, likewise, and Chemo. They are a part of his little troupe. He wishes to bronze his musical instrument. And Bren looks at you and goes, "You know, bronze sounds shitty on an instrument, right?"
I know, but it sort of goes with the whole color scheme I'm going for, so it is my preferred medium.
All right, let's see the instrument.
I'll hand over my shawm.
Okay. He looks at it, flips it over. Who made this?
Oh, it is. I've heard that for a very long time. It comes from far, far away from here. I cannot even remember. I've had it as long as.
Chemo's eyes get real wide, just realizing what he thinks he did.
He just flips it back over. It's trash.
Okay, bud.
Well, you know, coming to this town, I hear that dwarven craftsmanship is second to none, and I wish to find a shop that specializes in instruments. And I thought maybe Zoxius here said you did wonders as far as gilding instruments.
Give me a second. He puts it over. He takes it over, puts it on his table, and goes around and pulls out this almost like a tackle box. And as he opens it, it opens up further than it should for a box that size. And he just immediately puts on these little glasses, looks like magnifying glasses almost, and just starts working on your instrument. He takes it apart in less than 30 seconds, completely.
Wow.
I'm getting such huge flashbacks to when and this is not related to anything technically, but when I first moved here to Tennessee, I took my clarinet to a music shop, which I did not know was very bad. I took it there for a while, and they had some repairs done, and then eventually I took it to another music shop, which was much better at the recommendation of my professor, and they basically did this exact thing to my instrument. They were like, "Wow, they fucked you up." And they just immediately went to fixing it. I'm like, oh, I'm getting into cold sweat remembering all of that and all the money I spent.
Yep. He goes through and he redoes some of the insides. He rips the strings out, goes and puts brand new strings on it.
It's it's not the violin, it's the shawm, like the oboe type instrument.
So he pulls all the keys off of it, puts new ones on there. He goes all through it, redoes all of the workings and the springs, wipes it down, and then hands it back to you. So have this on your paper. Any performance done with this new shawm is a +2.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay,
he has
cool.
completely reworked it and hands it back. That's better.
Awesome.
Now it's not shit.
They put bronze on it?
No, he didn't, because you didn't pay for that. But it was really shitty craftsmanship, and he just could not.
Like seeing somebody's shoes untied. You gotta fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
You just pissed him off enough to get free work done.
It's simple to do.
He
He hated it that much.
He's like, I can't pay you. He smashes it with a hammer. All right.
Yeah. Next. Many thanks. I am in your debt, and I'll take a bow.
Take good care of Whisper Song.
Mhm.
We'll do Whisper Song. I like that.
That's very beautiful craftsmanship.
Thank you. So, what you wanted to bronze it?
Yes, I was hoping to sort of put bronze gilding along the instrument. I heard I really enjoy the aesthetic of bronze.
The weird aesthetic. Yeah, I can do that. It's like 10 gold pieces.
It is a deal, and I'll take it out of my. Well, I'll go. Chemo, I believe to have misplaced my my gold. Could I pay you back, possibly?
Oh, I've got it, Vesper. No worries.
Do you?
Well, you see, I don't. This is back from my home country. We sort of trade in a different currency, you know. So
What? Different what?
I come from a land that is mostly travelers. We sort of go back to the whole bartering system, you know. So
All right. Well, what have you got to trade?
let me see here. I will look through.
And while you're doing that, like he kind of just Brennan eyes Zoxius, the Drow barter. It's like Zoxius looks back like, man, I don't know.
I just met this guy.
Not involved.
Yeah.
With that.
Francesca like casually pulls out like a large fire crab shell piece, and she's like, yeah,
That's what
we're
we can.
You know what? I'll take out like half of my caltrops just based on what they're worth, and offer like half of my caltrops. This should be about 10 gold worth of caltrops if you would have any use for these.
Brennan's like, I don't need that.
What about this tooth of a what was it?
the Titan boa.
Titan boa. It's a Titan boa. I wouldn't know it as a Titan boa, but it was a large snake, and I broke off this piece of its teeth. What'd that do?
Now that I could do something with.
Here you go, Vesra. I got you.
Oh, thank you, Cassius, and I'll just take it from him and hand it over.
Brennan kind of looks at it, hits his thumb on the corner, and immediately draws blood. Zoxy's like, aren't that poisonous? Yeah, that'll work.
For you.
I like this guy.
He just starts. He walks away. He just missteps for a second. He's like, "Good,
I'm
good."
fine.
Yeah.
Good.
So he goes and pulls some bronze like sheet pieces over towards the forge. Give me about an hour. I should be able to bronze your Schwam.
Much appreciated. It is a sham, but yes, thank you.
Is that the highest quality bronze you're working with?
It's the highest quality of bronze. Yeah, I mean, bronze is just a mix of copper and tin. It's 2 parts one part the other, melted down at a lower temperature. It's pure bronze, if that's what you're...
There's nothing else mixed in there?
Does anyone ever
sweat?
You know.
We just
Does
let the
anyone
poor guy
ever
work.
Yeah. No, fine.
He's just an
I'll start.
artist.
I'll start perusing his wares then. Oh, yeah.
What were you saying, Brianna?
I was gonna say, does anyone ever like to add runes or anything? Is that something that you do, or is that more of the job of an artist? It's just, I think they look interesting, and I have a particular look in the decorations that I like to have as well. Just asking, just curious. I don't get to talk to a master artisan very much.
As he's slowly like weaving the bronze, almost in a way like he just by touching it, he's moving the metal in a way that metal doesn't normally move. He just looks. What kind of runes do you want? Yeah, I do runes.
Well, I just meant of any kind. Can you do any language, anything? I'm just curious. I don't know what what the is it
Any
only
language I know, I can imbue rune magic to a certain extent. Just depends on what you're looking for, I guess. Magic's not the forte of my kind. We usually use others to imbue it once it's finished. It depends on the thing. What are you What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
well, nothing in particular. Though I did see some beautiful flowers when we walked into the marketplace. I think perhaps could you make a vase?
A vase? Yeah, I can make a vase. You want one where like the flowers don't wither?
Oh, yes,
They
that would be
don't jiggle
wonderful.
jiggle. They fold.
Soxy's
I
is
feel
like,
that's a song lyric that I don't
I don't.
understand.
I'm gonna write that down.
Quick, write that down.
Likewise, your book starts to glow.
Oh no.
Oh, guys, the book.
You may not get
good
it,
book.
but your kids are gonna love it.
This is the first time it's flowing. I'm
It's
kind of
very Back
scared.
to the Future.
Just combine TikTok with Back to the Future. Yes.
Is there anything inside the book when it glows?
No, no,
Okay.
it's the glowing thing's a joke. It's just
Okay.
Mike bringing in lyrics to an older time. It's Back to the Future. It's fine.
Yeah, a vase where the flowers wouldn't wither would be wonderful. Do you mind if I care to add any celestial runes to it? Is that a language you know?
Celestial, yeah, I can do sorta. Yeah, I can do celestial runes. While he's talking this entire time, he's molding this bronze through this sham, like
Mhm.
kind of, and as it's being embossed with it, he's putting like little just with his fingernail, he's making a design of a wave through it, almost like he's moving putty
Wow.
and just shaping it as he goes. I don't really think celestial magic will prevent them from withering.
Well, I didn't know what kind of spell you might suggest for that.
I would be life magic or light magic, I would assume. I don't.
What about necromantic magic?
Talking about
Roll me a
chemo,
perception at disadvantage, Chemo.
Oh, okay.
I've never used necromancy a day in my life.
Disadvantage perception check.
Disadvantage
Mhm.
perception.
Okay. That's a 15.
Fucking A, alright.
Yeah.
When you say that, this is just here, tell you what, I'm gonna whisper this one to you.
Ooh, hot damn, Dad.
That's that
A
yeah. You
whisper.
got
Oh.
good on the rando there. So yeah, Brennan's just like I mean, I would probably put magic on it so that the flowers don't wither. What do you have in mind? You seem to I feel like you want something, you just don't know how to ask for it. Let's all be open and honest here. What you need?
Oh, me? All right.
No,
No.
he's talking. No, Brennan's talking to Francesca.
Okay.
Francesca, this entire time, has been just having this conversation mostly as a hypothetical to probe his knowledge of anything that could be related to a celestial bowl. So she's like not even necessarily actually interested in something, but at this point she's in that awkward phase where she feels like she's too deep to not get anything. It's like when you walk into a store and you feel obligated to buy something. So she's like,
Fucking
well,
Kroger's.
huh?
Kroger's.
Right.
Kroger's is one of those stores that always has random shit that you like the Mountain Dew
Yeah.
beer. And you
There's
go
the
in there
dollar
and you're like, I'm gonna go try and find it and see if Kroger's has it. And you go in and you don't see it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even looking for anything. Like, we were just like scoping out this Kroger in this area, and that's where I saw the Dolly Parton like cake mix. I was like, what the fuck? This place in the middle of bumfuck South Tennessee just has this. Like,
What is in Dolly Parton cake mix? I must
it's
know.
like it's like a banana pudding, and then there was like another one. Yeah,
Beautiful.
like that.
So she's like kind of looking around, kind of like eyes darting to Cass and to Viscerar and to Chemo, and even a little bit towards Likewise. Just trying to pull any kind of in the moment inspiration for what she may want. Well, pardon my nerves. Like I said, I just don't talk to artisans very much anymore. I've been out of the trade for quite a while. However, I think, well, a ceremonial bowl would be beautiful, actually. I've just newly begun practicing with the deity, and I think that a bowl to use in my rituals would be really quite wonderful if it's something that you could spare.
Ritual bowl, yeah. I can do that. Who's your patron? What religion do you follow?
You wanna
She's a
stick
deer in the headlights look for a moment because she just remembered like Celestian's not a guy yet. So did she when she talked with Celestian before, did she remember or did he say who he
Yeah, he said he was a follower of Saloon.
Okay. So she'll say, Saloon, actually.
What?
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, I can make a bowl for her, a ritual bowl. That's the moon triple goddess fights the poison.
Right.
Yeah, I can do that. You just want a
Sure.
ritual bowl?
Well, and a blessing in Celestial on it, if you wouldn't mind as well. There's one that Saloon has that she says that her followers study quite often. What was that, Chemo? I admit I'm not the best in my book studies. I'm quite new to the
You're
religion.
so much better than me. I want to hear you say it. You got that lovely voice.
Chemo, help the lady.
She
I
punches his arm a little, and she's like, "You're just so great."
Chemo punches back. Yeah, you too. The straight Hulk and Thor.
She just goes out cold on the ground. Oh shit!
Anyway, so the saying goes.
Amazing. And he's like, "Do people do that where you come from?"
Yeah, she got narcolepsy.
Right. Well, I think if I can remember properly, um, something about may the light of the stars and the moon illuminate your path forward. Is that something that you'd be able to put on a ritual bowl for me in Celestial?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay. And then she starts like
Uh,
soccer mom digging some shit out of her bag because she doesn't know what he's like looking to see and find useful. So she's like, I actually have some dragon
so,
blood.
so
Would that be valuable in your?
Dragon's blood is extremely. But how did you get a hold of that?
blood.
What was that, Austin?
I was like, I was thinking. I'm thinking. It's like
Yeah,
I was
right.
thinking out loud. I was like, it was like celestial blood. In trade, celestial bowl made of the blood of a celestial dragons. Trade fair. Just like stumbling over his words because he's just looking at everything else because he's already not halfway paying attention.
Yes, this is so fucking painful. Let me tell you.
But, I mean, you can help at any point.
Listen,
What?
if you think it's painful to watch, it's even worse to play.
Mhm.
When I gotta sit here and watch you try and falsely worship the terrific Saloon, and
Beautiful.
It is blood from a dragon that I successfully pacified with my music.
No,
oh boy,
no,
we're just
that's
stacking
what-
up the lies today.
Roll a bluff.
What was that, Haya?
Do what?
That was for Vezrar to roll roll bluff on that one, Bubba.
No, I was
What,
trying to hear what
Roll
persuasion?
Tom.
deception.
What Tom
Deception?
said.
No, I was
What
just
did you
gonna
say, Tom?
Oh, I was saying, no way, you did that, Mr. V? You did that? Like, I was just impressed by what he
That's 18.
Mr. B.
Why do your characters always ride Trevor's dick?
I know that's me.
That's literally the first interaction I
Not,
think
not
I've
your
had with him.
characters.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Mr. V,
I
my
mean, no.
tail flutters.
Nelly and Zeb did.
Zev shit himself and then ran away as a frog.
Yeah, but after that,
Dude, legendary.
After that, he got
Yeah,
pegged in the back of a Volkswagen.
she would be the guy.
in the Hastings parking lot.
Oh, God.
Listen, they live happily in her swamp. They have swamp meatloaf every night. They are
do.
in love. Okay.
Is that what they call it?
Yes, that's what it's called. Okay.
He's catching
No,
the
weird
soup.
fucking. There's slimy mushrooms everywhere, and they are in love. Shut up.
Doesn't sound like food.
I don't like to judge people, but I'm really gonna judge the fuck out of that.
They're both really weird people. Like they're gonna have a weird relationship, you know?
Trevor got really straight faced. He's like, please stop while we're ahead.
You're just digging this hole deeper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Brennan finishes up the sham and just like dunks it in the water real quick to cool it off. And sits it on the counter and doesn't even look at Vezrar and just looks straight at Francesca. All right, brass tacks. What are you looking for? What are you wanting? You have all gone back and forth and questioned your own things. First of all, your saloon, I don't know how much you actually worship if you go only like on holidays, but the motto's completely off.
Yeah.
You, like pointing over at Cassius, your kind don't leave the abyssal plane unless there's a reason. Looks over at Vezrar. Your kind rape and pillage at their will, and I'm assuming is what happened halfway through here. Looks at Likewise. I don't even fucking know what you are.
Me
That's
neither.
That's a rabbit.
No, we eat rabbits. I don't know what that is. Half of me wants to cook him, and the other half is just afraid that he's gonna put a curse on me.
Go ahead and follow
And
the
then
second
finally over at Chemo. And you're one tall motherfucker. None of you have a reason to be here. I'm assuming let's really just get down to what do you want?
They're looking for a
Francesca-
celestial bronze bowl. I'm really sick and tired of standing around when I'm the only person that's concerned for your time, when I'm the least involved. And maybe the rabbit.
Francesca farts.
I'm
Oh my
kind of a pinch a little bit.
Celestial bronze bowl.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. Can you like write celestial in a bronze bowl so we can get the fuck out of here?
Not a bad idea.
The loophole.
Well, let's start with not how that works.
Using the old noggin.
I love Likewise so much.
So Brennan walks past all of you, shuts his door, and locks it.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna walk up to the counter and take my sham.
Okay. It is got the bronze things around it. It's still a +2 to persuasion, not to performance when you use it.
Oh.
But it does look really like it looks nice. Like he put his effort into it.
The hell of a penny.
What's it called?
You're ready to rock and roll.
The Wind something?
Whisper song.
Whisper song. The Wind
We're
Waker.
gonna dance again.
Got no rhythm. Besrar just goes in with a.
That is like my song. Francesca looks like a really weird mix of awkward, embarrassed, pissed off, and now just afraid because she doesn't know why this guy did this so suddenly. And she's also like flushed, and the bottom of her hair where the flame are started to crawl up, so that it's taking a bit more of her hair as her temper starts to flare.
Your hair normally do that?
So Brennan walks back around, pulls a stool from over by his forge, and brings it up to the table and sits down and goes, "So you want a celestial bronze bowl?"
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are you gonna pay for it?
What's it gonna cost?
Expensive.
What if I told you we got goods and we got gold, but we don't exactly get the kind of gold that you could use right now? I got 22 gold you could use right now, but that's
Then that
I got
well,
10.
22 won't cover it, and if I can't use it now, why would I want it?
your kids might be able to use it, but we're not going to go into exact details.
I
There's
want
also-
something to be clear. Go ahead.
What's that?
I was just going to say there was also those scales you plucked from the being we killed earlier. Francesca. If you would barter with us.
She does pull out in one part of her hand she has the dragon scales, and the other part of her hand she has the vial of dragon blood.
No,
But she keeps them tight to her side, out of the bag.
Not those. The Titan boa, the snake.
Oh, the boa blood, the Titan boa blood. Okay. Well, she'll pull out that and the dragon scales,
I
and she'll say, "I want something to be very clear before we make any kind of transaction. Before anything goes further, you will say nothing more unkind about my friends, and I will say nothing unkind about you."
Who was talking shit?
He's talking shit.
He's just confused. I'm confused. We're all a little confused.
You don't look at my friend and tell him that all of his people just rape and pillage.
Well, I'm sorry to break the news to you, miss, but during this day and age, that's kind of what they're known for. Once you go back to where you're going to go to, then you can be upset. Right now, he's got right for concern for him being in his shop.
And does this look like a man who rapes and pillages?
He doesn't know that.
Look at his
Take understanding. Know where you're at. Read the room. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at him.
I'm sorry. Does this look like a man? And all of a sudden, I just see this Vizrar picture behind Trevor.
If I was looking him in the eyes, well, I mean a little bit.
Those are bedroom eyes.
They are actually. We don't talk about that.
They're speaking my language. That's my best Vesrar. That's all you get.
Damn, I don't know what Zoxy was trying to look at, but he didn't find it.
No, he sure as shit didn't.
Francesca glares at Chemo, but she shuts up. And she shoves everything back in her bag.
Well, excuse me, miss, if I offended. But as the mammoth of a man has stated, it's kind of who they are. So my assumption is, his mother had a bad turn with one. Maybe they were friendly, maybe, I don't know. But now we are getting to the heart of what you want. And that's all I care about. So, from what I saw in your hand, I don't think you really have what can afford this. But, make you a deal. I need the ore for the celestial bronze anyway. I have everything else I need to make it. If I tell you where to go and get it, and you bring it back, I'll make you your bowl. I would like 3 pieces of the celestial bronze. You only need 1 for the bowl. The other 2 are minus payment.
Where would we find such an ore?
Deep in the mountain, there is a temple to an old god. And from her blood, it mixed in with the ore down there, and that's where celestial bronze comes from. Go into the temple, and you will find it. And bring it back to me. And then he looks over at Zoxius. And I assume you're here because you want into the damn temple. He's like, yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. I don't know what's going on here, but yes, actually, that's what I want to do. You have permission to go, all of you. I will write up your papers momentarily.
If you do not mind me asking, what is the name of this old goddess?
I personally don't mind. Her name is Tiamat.
What's up? I'm sorry. Can you come again?
Tia what?
Would Vesrar know that name, or
Oh, yes. There
Okay.
is not a soul that has never heard of her.
okay? I didn't know
Like,
if
to be
where he's
fair-
from, if he was
no,
familiar with that or
To
not.
be fair, it would she is a wives' tale to most people and a boogeyman to others. Like she's not like she doesn't roam the great plains of existence. From what all of you would probably know, minus Chemo, you know, she is the counterpart to Bahamut. She's the mother of dragons. She had a lot going on back in the day. She's not been seen in a long time. For Chemo, I mean, she's where dragons come from. She's a walking disaster. She's not a monster. Like if she decides she wants to go across your continent, if there is anything in the way, it is no longer in the way. That's really it.
Obviously. Yeah.
I was just gonna real quickly like the excitement of like striking a deal. I'm gonna use a slot for rabbit hop and excitedly like we got a deal and like jump 15 feet in the air in excitement.
Jesus
So
fucking
cute.
Christ. There's
What?
Well, sir, you ever see a herring going off before? And then he's just like he's got excitement because he's aware like we're making some progress here.
Adorable.
Where's the temple
I
so we can go?
So excited for this herring gun.
Yeah.
So Brennan like pulls out from underneath his desk this parchment. Chemo's the only one that actually may notice this. All of you can roll perception and see if you get something higher. It'll be a high roll.
A perception?
Yeah,
I mean, I've got a
Nat
15.
20. That's a 29.
I see that.
What do we got? What we get? Dirty 20.
All right, so Lakinda and Vizrar and Chemo. The little bit that you've seen paper here, parchment doesn't look well made. Like they haven't really gotten into that printing of like sets. The parchment that he pulls out doesn't have the ridges of, pressed pulp. It's very, very flat, very, very like it's expensive. And Brennan just starts writing. And while he's doing this, there comes to be a knock at the door. You pointing it likewise. Go open that.
Yes, sir.
What?
Hello?
As you open the door, there are two more stone dwarves. They're shorter than Brennan, but not by much. That are like they look both down at you in very like almost pure confusion.
Likewise is the name. Come on in.
As if it's
Come on in, dwarves!
I love Bunny. I love the Bunny Man.
As so,
Did
Go
he
ahead.
tell you to let him in, or did he just tell you to answer the? Never mind, they're already inside.
They're already inside.
so they just kind of walk past. They start looking around at everyone in this room like, what have we walked into?
It's a traveling circus. We're setting up. We're going to be in town for the next week, but we'll only be doing shows on the 5th and 6th days.
They just very, all right. And They look over to Brennan. Lord Lyrican, you have a meeting in 30 minutes, sir. Fine. Will you take this group down to the Tiamat Temple? They have full access to the mines. Have someone stationed outside with a cart in case they need to bring anything back. They have access to anything they take down there they can keep. And this stays with the mountain dwarves. Are we understood?
Mhm.
They just snap to attention. Brennan folds the piece of paper up, hands it over to Likewise. Here you go. Just hold on to that.
You got it.
I apparently have a meeting. Zoxius, it's always interesting when you show up. Just over in the corner. Brennan goes back into a room and then after a few moments comes back out wearing a shirt, pants, and a blue cloak that has on that right side an emblem of the mountain dwarves that you saw on the banner. And he places on top of his head a crown made of bronze with blue gemstones.
Bronze. Why'd you go with bronze?
This bronze actually looks different than the bronze that was placed on it. This one is glowing almost with like a golden hue around it.
Oh, he totally ripped you off, Ezra.
I don't know how long it'll take you down there. I assume this meeting is going to take me a while. Meet me back here at the shop tomorrow, I guess, or whenever you get back.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Good.
Will do.
So yeah, Brennan leaves the shop. He just leaves it unlocked and open. The guards are kind of staring at all of you like, who are these people?
Hey, so
And
where's
then one
that temple at?
Yeah, one of them goes, "Yep, this way, sir." And then so they take you guys out, and bring you back down to the dock. And instead of going to like one of the main ships that you see there, they go farther down the dock to one of the smaller, looks like metal warships, and they usher all of you in.
What is this?
That's a different boat.
Thank you for that. So, were you so insightful?
Very good observation.
So as the boat departs, instead of going out of the main gate, they take you around and through a smaller cavern far to the right that goes right under where the castle meets the sea. The walls are lit with an eerie blue flame, and it feels like you guys are going down for what seems like an hour until finally the cavern opens up to this huge, just huge room underground. You see several dwarves that are down there, all of them in full plate, all standing guard by this great door. The door itself seems to be made of very old stone, well worn. Most of the things actually down here looks like they're not very well taken care of, except for the emblem on the door is a 5-headed dragon.
Listening, I have to pee so bad. I'm trying.
Well, go pee. You
You're
can
good.
still hear though, right?
yeah.
Then that's all that matters.
That feels like
Um,
very in line for Chemo. Like Chemo is in this mind, and he's like, "No, wait."
All right.
I have to
So-
urinate.
Yeah.
Chemo, roll me a religion. No, you're good.
Damn
buddy.
it. Fuck.
No, you're good.
No,
You're
no,
good.
you
You're good.
asked
It's
for
a
it. I'm
joke.
back.
It was a joke.
Oh, too bad. You're shit.
You have
Roll a
disadvantage.
mistake for your bladder.
Oh, I have disadvantage. Let me roll it up.
Well, you've got a 4. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Tell me all about it.
I will. I will describe it to the whole group for you.
Thanks.
So yes, so the emblem on the door is a 5-headed dragon, and each head is a different color: blue, green, black, white, and red.
Hmm.
The emblem itself is the only thing that looks almost pristine, as if it could not be tarnished. This entire time, Zoxius has kind of been bouncing on his heels. Like he's... This is pretty neat. What are we doing down here? Why are these
So this is
people
a very
with me? Go ahead.
So this is like a very intimidating kind of like setting.
Extremely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab out of my pouch a couple acorns and just like hold them in my hand as like a way to like keep my cool.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
So cute.
As the boat finally docks down there next to the bank, this is one of the few boats that the dwarves have where you don't have to go underneath the boat to get out. It just docks right up against the cave shoreline there. The 2 dwarves lead you out and start walking you towards the temple doors. And as they approach, 4 guards immediately swarm onto your location where all of you are. They don't pull their weapons, but they do not look friendly. And Zoxys is in the back. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
One of the guards looks at likewise the letter. Give him the
Yes,
letter.
sir. Where's that letter at? I put it there. That letter.
The dwarf that you gave it to reads it, looks up at your group, looks back down at the letter. King Brennan gave you permission to come to the temple.
He sure did, without hesitation at all.
Very well. They stand aside.
Thank
Two
you,
of them
sir.
go. 2 of the stone dwarves go, and they go to the door themselves, and they both touch it at the same time. And you just, as the doors are pushed open, the entire cavern shakes, and you all get this scent that's very, very familiar to Francesca, Vezrar, and Cassius. It's sort of similar to Chemo, but not as much. And then likewise, you've never smelt it before, but it's the smelt. It's the smelt. The smelt row. It is the smell of a very large lizard or reptile.
It kind of smells like that snake that we got.
A little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit.
That's my knowledge of
Yeah.
it.
It would be. And as you all walk into the temple, they shut the door almost immediately behind you.
Ooh. How dark is it?
It is not actually that dark at all. It's extremely well lit. There are yellow crystals all along the wall that give off light. And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Right.
Again, next week we are not meeting, but the week after that, you will start the dungeon.
Okay.
It'll be, I try to do just one big dungeon per campaign. That way, however long that takes, you're not doing that more than once.
Damn. Now, is next week when y'all are going to the beach? Is that what it is?